our boy Hank.
There he is, man! Thank you yesterday, my buddy.
Hey guys, Bondo here, part 2 video of our 40 by 90 concrete pole barn slab that we did here with the radiant heat in it. If you haven't watched my first video, guys, this is a part 2 of a 3-part series we're going to do on this big barn that we prepped it too. There's a prep video and then there's going to be 3 pour videos, so this is number 2. We divided this barn up into 3 pieces, guys, just because there wasn't enough in the budget to pump this thing, so we put tubing down the first section and poured it, and then this is the second section. We put this tubing down after we poured the first section, like the same day, while the concrete was drying. If you watch part 1, you'll see that how we ran that tubing. It's 1,200 square feet, so we got 1,200 foot of tubing here, and that's what we did. And then, as you can see, he drove in here, so there's no tubing in the third section yet. And after we pour this section, we're going to put the tubing down for the last section, and then we're going to pour this last section here on Saturday. Today's Thursday, so a couple more days. We're going to pour that section. But we made this chute, guys. You know how I made it if you watched the first video. I just used a culvert pipe, cut it in half, and I mean, the concrete ran pretty good down there. We're pouring, like, this is probably a good 5 slump concrete. It's not really that wet. You can see the guys are pushing it around. It's not, you know, real wet self-leveling concrete like you see some guys pour really wet self-leveling concrete. This is good concrete because this is going to be a race car shop, and you know, they don't want a lot of cracks and stuff in this. So there is a water reducer in here. It's called polyheat, and that just makes the concrete a little more workable. So pouring this at a 5 slump, or like a 5 slump would be equal to probably pouring like a 3 slump of regular concrete. So this is real strong concrete, guys. Here I am putting the wet pads in, guys. I got a laser level and I'm setting these pads to grade. That's me in the red shirt doing it, and I got a mag float in one hand, and I'll just mag off and keep checking it with my laser, and my laser's on, spinning that laser around, and it'll tell me if I got to go up or down with my pad. When I get my pad set, I just put a little X on it, so that my son's Jason, we call him Big Biscuit. He's real good at leveling this concrete out. There he is. You'll see him, guys. He'll dial it right in. If I put those wet pads in all over the place, he'll just rake it right out, and it'll be real close. We won't have to pull a lot off when we're power screeding. We're going to use a power screed to lay this down. We use a regular 16-foot magnesium screed to set our long wet pads, but we'll be screeding it off with a Marshalltown Shockwave power screed. So these guys are all just, I call them puddlers. These guys with these flat rakes. Actually, I jumped in there puddling. And all we're doing is raking this concrete around, and you know, by eye, getting it to the top of the form and about where we want it. And like I said, when I put those wet pads in, that helps everybody see where grade's got to be. So and we like to dump these trucks out fast. We don't, you know, dump out part of it and then screed it. We'll pretty much try to dump this whole truck, this first truck, out as fast as we can, so that we can get him out of there, get him back to the to his plant, and get loaded up for another load, and also to get the second truck in there. And we got to get him out of there and washed out. So there goes our chute, guys. We're done with that. We got that whole first truck unloaded, and oh no, there might be a little bit left in it, I guess. So he's just about empty. Oh, I added a chute to him right here. So we dumped out everything we could reach real deep with that homemade chute, the culvert pipe chute, and I just threw another chute on, so now he's got 3 chutes, and we're gonna finish dumping this truck out. This particular portion of the floor, I believe, was 19 yards, guys. So one truck had 10 and one had 9. This first truck had the 10 in it. So there I am again, putting in my wet pads, putting my X's down. You see, I put a lot of them out there. I find the more of them I put out, the better the guys do it, getting this thing leveled out before we start screeding. And especially, like I said, my son Jason's really getting good at that. So here we are, guys, putting our wet pads in. These are just concrete leveled out to grade, and then I got my the Marshalltown Shockwave here, and I'm just going to go from pad to pad. And the guys are behind me puddling. They're knocking everything down here, keeping it level. And this thing knocks the cream right, or knocks the stones right down and brings the cream up. So it makes it a lot easier to bow float. My son Jason there, Big Biscuit, he's got the bow float in hand. He's leveling it out. You can see how flat everything is, guys. We got just a 4-foot bow float there with round edges, and that's all we need because it's already nice and level. We don't have to do much. We don't need bump cutters or nothing like that. This floor is going to be real level the way we poured it out. You can see the guys pushing around, getting everything leveled out here. I jumped in, helping Big Biscuit there, getting her down. And then we can reach what we screeded off already. We can reach that form board with my 16-footer, so that's what we'll do next. Got the concrete truck driver coming in, just putting a little bit more in here or there where we needed it. I kind of direct them. You gotta let your driver know what you need. You gotta, you know, he can't see it all from up in the truck, so I'll tell him what we need so we can get the amount of concrete in there we need. So that's how we did that, and then we're gonna get that 16-footer again. Here it comes. Got Greg there with me, and here we are just knocking. We kind of jitterbug it a little bit to hit the stones down, as you can see. And then we just pull it off. We'll do that jitterbug a couple times and pull it off. The jitterbug helps with this thicker concrete, guys. It's not the real loose stuff. You can just pull it off. You're going to knock the aggregate down quick. Now I got the power screed again. Just pulling it off. Then I'm going to turn here. Well, I'm going to buzz these all down where I can turn, because that's a 12-foot screed stick. So I'm going to get closer to that form board where that edge of that is right there, and then I'm going to hit that. Just pull that right off. These guys are going to keep pulling and filling in as we go. If it's high, they're going to knock it down. Got a little high here, looks like. Yeah, quite a bit high here, guys. You can see the left side's high, so he's pulling quite a bit out of there right now. That's why I like putting them wet pads in. It kind of helps these guys. You don't end up with having high spots like that. So everybody's jumping in here, puddling, you can see, making things easier. We got a little high here, so I figured we just rip it off with the 16-footer quick, just to get some of that material out of there. But I'm going to go back and power screed it after we do it, just to knock the stones down so it's easier to bow float. And just makes it that much better, that much flatter. That's what we're doing here. We're just going to pull it off by hand real quick. You can see this concrete's pretty thick, guys. It's at least a 5 slump. It may be a 4.5 slump. I didn't check the slump. The slump, guys, if you don't know, is the thickness of the concrete. That's what slump is. How much water's in the concrete is going to make the slump. It's going to, the wetter the concrete, the higher the number. So this being a 4.5, 5 slump is a pretty good concrete. Versus if it was like a 8 slump, it'd be very watery. It kind of look like cow manure, and you could kind of kick it and it'd be self-leveling itself. So this is good concrete. This is 3,500 pound concrete. Like I don't know if I told you that. It's got a little water reducer in it, but definitely not real wet, soupy stuff. A little bit harder to work with, but we're pretty good with it. We dumped this whole pad in an hour, so that's not bad. We put a little bit too much in here, guys, so got to scoop it out right there, put it in the wheelbarrow. Just a little bit, maybe half a wheelbarrow too much, so the guys are pulling it out. And bam, there we go. That slab's done. She's leveled out. Big Biscuit in with the float. Floating it down. You can see how flat it is, guys. There ain't no rip, bumps, or humps when he's floating it. That thing is nice and level. This is a race car shop, so they really want it level.
All that concrete. Watch out.
Biscuit, what do we got here? That's
Getting it done.
laying it down. And
Daddy Doritos.
we might have to have a talk soon about you not knowing how to spell any part of my name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
Evin, Jezerjeski.
I can't spell Jeski.
Ridiculous.
Try to spell that.
I know.
Spell the first name.
Yeah, you're first.
I'm not much of a speller.
I can't
You
read.
can probably tell on my YouTube channel that I'm not that great at spelling. You really spell Bondo? I spelled biscuit one time too. Oh, wait, you said it.
So guys, I didn't video it, but before we started putting the tubing down here, we put a vapor barrier in, a plastic vapor barrier down, and then we put 2 inches of polystyrene insulation. That's a closed cell insulation. And then we put our wire mesh down. We wired the wire mesh to itself so that we keep our grid nice and straight. And then we're just running our tube in here, guys. We kind of did something cool. If you stay with the video, you'll see how we did this, where we actually had to put some 1-inch conduits under the second slab, just so we had a place to stuff it up in.
Get some video of stuffing it in there.
Yeah.
Trick that we did, so that we could get all the way back to the header and put those electrical conduits in there.
Yeah.
Sneaky we are.
Was that hard?
Biscuit said it couldn't be done.
Yeah, he was so worried.
He didn't think it could be done.
Biscuit did a lot of complaining on that yesterday. Not gonna lie.
Probably like, oh, this is my stupid idea. Always doubting the old man, you know. I didn't think it was stupid. I just thought it would be difficult. Jay, you gotta have faith in me, my man. Right, Frank? Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith in me. take that roll and roll it out.
There it is. Gorgeous. So how hard was that?
How hard was that, Jay? Big biscuit, how hard was that? Yeah, we're gonna run right down that line.
So guys, that's how we fed our pipe back to where the manifold's gonna be, where the boiler room is. We just that's just 1-inch electrical conduit, guys, and I glued it all together, and it comes up out of the slab with a 90. We used a 45 and a 90 and just glued it all together, and it pushed right through there easy. You could see I cut a little angle on it, so it's just fed right in there real easy. Highly recommend that if you're gonna try to do it this way. It worked out real good. It's the first time I've done that, but we had to figure out a way to, not get this tubing down ahead of ourselves so that we could drive the trucks in. So that's how we come up with it, and it worked really good. I'll show you a couple more shots of us putting the rest of it up in there.
Yep.
Guys, do me a favor. If you like this video so far, go ahead and hit the like button for me. That'll help out my channel a lot. And you guys that haven't subscribed, and a lot of guys that watch my videos are not subscribed, according to when I checked on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, guys. We're doing a lot of these videos, and they're real helpful for people. People are building their own basements and pouring their own floors and stuff. Just watching my videos, I'm getting some feedback from them.
How's that, Jay? Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. That's the way. Woo! That's the way we do it. Bondo built radiant heat work.
That's how you put in-floor heating in.
So I usually just keep one guy back here finishing a floor like this with me, guys. This is only 1,200 square feet. So just me and Trevor are back here finishing this floor. He's over there troweling the back edge, and I'm doing the front edge where we could walk, and now I'm going to hit the side here. I just got these flat stamping concrete shoes. They don't really leave too much of a track. They're kind of smooth on the bottom, but the concrete's sticky right now, so it is pulling up a little bit. So I'm just walking down through here. I like to finish right up in between the poles, even though this is going to be a finished building and you're not really going to see in there. It just looks nicer. It looks like a nicer, cleaner job when you're done. So I'll trowel all that right up in there by hand because the machine won't reach around these poles and stuff. And then I'm just going to grab the power trowel here in a minute and wipe out my foot tracks. It's just easier sometimes than doing it on knee boards for me. I'm just going to go right through here, wipe out my foot tracks. I picked that bottle up that just fell on the floor. And that was just easy right there. Like I said, and that's all finished now, guys, up in there. That was the steel trowel I was using, so I might hit it maybe one more time, but Trevor's hitting the edges here and again that I just hit. And you know, they're hardening up as we go here, so we'll just keep hitting it. And we do this in patterns, doing these floor. I do a half lap, guys. I just lap the trowel over halfway over the other pass. Each pass, I'll go halfway again. And I like to work opposite directions. I'll go one direction, and then the next hit I'll go a different direction. And usually got a hand trowel around all your pipes and stuff, and any of the drains. This section here didn't have a lot of pipes in it. The first section had quite a few pipes in it because it was an apartment going back in there. The back half is an apartment, and the front half is going to be a race car shop, like I was saying. So each time we hit this, guys, it gets a little bit smoother. So we're just going to keep hitting it until it does what's called shining out, or you know, blackening it out. The concrete will actually kind of turn black. You'll see it start to turn black, and it'll get real slippery, get real smooth. You gotta be careful not to polish it up too much because it will get slippery, like over slippery. So we're trying to find that happy medium there where it's easy to sweep, but it's not like too slippery. So that's what we're looking for. And it usually dries a little bit different rates depending on a lot of things. If you're getting any wind or anything on it, or sun shining through a window, or a lot of things, are the different loads. This is two different loads, obviously, but actually the second load caught up to the front load just because it was closer to the door. So here I'm just going the opposite direction here, guys. Just like I said, I went one way and now I'm going to hit it the other way, and that just flattens the floor out. And you can see what I'm talking about with that half lap. Yeah, I'm just going halfway across each pass, down and back, down and back. We had to set lights up. We didn't get done with this till 8 o'clock at night. Concrete was supposed to be there at 10. It didn't show till about 10:30. So that's another reason I didn't pour it real wet, because I wanted to get out of there. I didn't want to be there all night. So if I poured it real wet, this floor would have took longer to dry. So that's something I'm always in the back of my mind. You don't want to pour these too wet, be here all night. So guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to show you how we did this barn in 3 sections. Stay tuned for part 3. I'll be putting that together in a couple days for you. And if you haven't watched part 1, go back and watch that. And like I said earlier, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, at least go and check it out, because there's a lot of good stuff on there. We got we're probably close to 140 videos right now, 135. A lot of good stuff on there to try to help you guys if you're new to concrete, or you're learning, or you want to learn a different aspect of it. We do all kinds of different stuff on there, and also some home renovation stuff during the winter time. We don't pour concrete in the winter that much. And thanks again, guys. I will catch you on the next video, and take care.
Yo. No. Well, yeah, you can lock the big door. I don't know why, but... He's been locking it. One section left. Almost got the big barn done. Just made our cuts. There we go.